Hey everybody, Will Gully here. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to take a little bit of time and share with you a story really quickly about something that just happened to me a couple days ago. I happened to have a conversation with a football coach about recruiting, and more specifically, we started talking about this concept of specialization and when do you kids need to start specializing in a sport? Should kids specialize in a sport? What are parents' roles with allowing kids to specialize in sports? How does specializing in a sport impact your your recruiting? How does it impact your overall fitness? How does it impact the coaches' minds when they see you? All those things. We had this big conversation about it. And so let me just, I'll give you the Reader's Digest, if you will. This is a high school football coach, and he's competed at the highest level, Division I quarterback in the Big Ten, went on, played professional football, and now he's, 10, 15, 20 years outside of playing, and he's been coaching this whole time. And now he's seeing kids come to him saying, Coach, I don't want to play football because I really want to concentrate on baseball. Or they're saying, I have an opportunity to compete in the Olympics as a sprinter. I really don't want to play football because I don't want to get hurt. I don't want that to impact me. And so his perspective of kids specializing in one sport or another is that it's negatively impacting his football team. So that's one. Two, he's saying that their club organizations and their non-high school coaches are pushing their kids to specialize for a number of reasons. He would say that it's financially motivated, and he would say that it's very much to the benefit of the organization itself and not necessarily to the benefit of the kid. And so those are the reasons why he is kind of on the fence about these club and select programs, and why he's on the fence about specializing in one sport or another. The other way of thinking about this is that specialization allows your student athlete, your kid, to have more time on practice on purpose. And the more time, the more reps that a kid is getting, the better they will get, as long as the reps are good reps, right? If you're not teaching bad habits, you're teaching good habits, and you're getting more practice in those good habits, you're going to end up getting better. And when it comes to competing, you're likely to be, light years ahead of the student athlete that is playing one sport and then bounce to the next. That's just like anything else, right? Malcolm Gladwell says it takes about 10,000 hours to develop a new habit and all that kind of stuff. So if a student athlete is really getting those reps in, then they're going to be benefited by it. So that's another way of looking at it. Another thing of looking at it, specialization, is that when you specialize in one particular sport, you become proficient and you really understand that one sport, right? You understand concepts better, and you can think that game a little bit better than a student athlete that's not spending as much time in those environments. So when at a certain point, student athletes are all going to grow. They're generally going to get to a certain level, right, where they're pretty much the same. The deviation between physicality is there are some definitely outliers, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent across the board. And what separates them from the others is how they think the game. And so the more you're able to get in the thinking mode of a game, the better you're going to be. And again, just like when it comes to repetitions, time on practice, the time you're thinking about it, the amount of time that you're spending thinking about it, the better you're going to be when it comes to understanding different concepts and spacing and that sort of thing. So that's one other side of specialization, I would say. So let me tell you this, parents, student athletes out there, college coaches are not as likely to want student athletes to be solely into one sport. I'll say it very simply. College coaches want student athletes that play multiple sports, plain and simple, right? They want that. They want to know that a baseball player is tough. And so when they see a baseball player playing basketball and taking hits and falling to the ground, that sort of thing, that's toughness, right? And when they see a football player on the soccer field, quick feet, quickness, mobility, being able to move and laterally and have quick bursts of energy, and then they be able to consistently maintain that over the course of 90-minute game, that says, hey, this student athlete is motivated. They're able to cross train. They can do a lot of different things. And if they're playing soccer, they understand space in a unique way. All those things are beneficial. If a basketball player is is running cross country, right? They're learning all kinds of things about managing their lung capacity. They're learning about managing their output. They're managing their speed. They're able to work individually and with the team, because cross country is a team sport. They're able to be in their own. They're able to overcome their own mental challenges. Right? They're mentally tough. All those things come into play, and so a college recruiter, a college coach, takes all that into consideration. And so when you're specializing and you're just doing the one sport, the college versus another kid that's doing the one sport and doing X, Y, and Z, all at really good levels, that's important. That's really important. And college coaches are looking for kids that are able. College coaches are looking for kids that are able to have a robust and a diverse set of skills, right? So that's what I would say about specialization. Now, it is important, don't get me wrong, it is important to hone in on a sport. It is important, right? I would recommend, just like most college coaches would recommend, is, hey, you're going to have the one sport that you shine in. Everything else that you do is to help you get better at that sport. Does that make sense? So a football player, really top level football player, might be a lineman, something like that. They need to be really good with their hands, so they wrestle, right? They understand bodies, they understand hand coordination, they understand leverage, and those sorts of things are really important to an offensive lineman. A soccer player, women's soccer player, right? If you want to play and compete at the highest level for 90 minutes and you're really good at it, you need to build up your lung capacity. So run track and field. Run track and field, learn how to run accurately, learn how to run with pace, learn how to balance your speed, momentum, learn how to finish, learn how to catch people, learn all those things. Those are important. Okay? You're a basketball player. Right? What are some things that are really good, really important for basketball players? Okay? Lateral movement. All right? Getting in a defensive stance. Okay? Quick feet, being able to do those sorts of things. So soccer is a great complement for a basketball player. All those things come into play. So if you want to be, a recruit that coaches really are invested in and really take an interest in, I'm going to highly recommend you do not specialize. Highly recommend you change your perspective to being one of, what other sports can I do that will help me get better at the sport that I want to pursue collegiately? Now, parents, you have a really big role in this, okay? At the younger ages, we're seeing kids 10 and younger specialize and put hours upon hours upon hours upon hours in one sport and to the detriment of the others. Okay, that's not good, quite frankly. You're setting yourself up for injury, for overuse, for all those things. It's really important at the younger ages to take breaks, all right, and develop different muscles, different body positions, different mental action. It's important. So parents, I'm gonna advise you, recommend that you do not allow your kid to specialize at the younger ages. Stay away from the trap. Avoid the trap that says my kid is behind because they are not in the best AAU select club program at 10 years old. Okay? Avoid that. Run away from that. Run toward opportunities for your kid to get a lot of different options, exposed to many different sports, many different opportunities, right? Run toward those opportunities. Okay? And if a coach of a 9U, 10U, 11U, 12U kid a team is telling you, hey, football's really bad for you. You can't play football right now. Why are you doing dance? Dancing's not going to help you. It's not going to help you as a baseball player. What are you doing? What are you doing? Avoid those opportunities. Avoid those. Run away from those coaches. Those coaches are telling you something that's not going to be beneficial down in the long run at those ages specifically. Now, when they get older, past 12, you're looking at 13, 14, you get into high school, the perspective should be, hey, I'm going to lean in. I'm going to find that one thing that I really, really love. A, I really, really love. B, I want to be really good at. Okay? And that's the one you hone in on. And again, everything you do is to improve yourself for that one thing. Okay? Well, I'll leave you with that. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I've seen this shake out a number of different ways. I've had conversations with college coaches across the board: baseball, basketball, soccer, football, tennis, across the board, that have all said the same thing. It is important for your student athlete to have a diverse skill set that when they get to college, they're able to lean on. And they are saying, as a college coach, we're looking for those types of kids. So with that, I'll leave you. May your day be filled with moments of grace, mercy, joy, and love. Bye now.